तौफीक ताईद हिम्मत व यारी मौला, या मुश्किल कुशा मेहरबान मौला, मदद फरमा, मदद फरमा। हस्बुनल्लाह व निअमल वकील व निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। हस्बुनल्लाह व निअमल वकील व निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। हस्बुनल्लाह व निअमल वकील व निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। हस्बुनल्लाह व निअमल वकील व निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। हस्बुनल्लाह व निअमल वकील व निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। हस्बुनल्लाह व निअमल वकील व निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। हस्बुनल्लाह व निअमल वकील व निअमल मौला व निअमन नसीर। Ya Maula Meherban, we have gathered here on this beautiful day of Saturday, Maula. Ya Maula Meherban. Ya Mushkil Kusha Meherban, please be with us, Maula. Be the light in the tongue of Nachis, Maula. Ya Maula Meherban. Ya Mushkil Kusha Meherban. Allahumma ja'alli nuran fi qalbi wa nuran fi sama'i wa nuran fi basari wa nuran fi lisani. ونورا في شعري ونورا في بشري ونورا في لحمي ونورا في دمي ونورا في زعمي ونورا في عصبي ونورا بين يدي ونورا من خلفي ونورا عن يميني ونورا عن يساري ونورا من فوقي ونورا من تحتي. Ya Mola Meherban, Ya Mushkil Kusha, surround us all with your light, Mola. Ya Mulai Meherban, Ya Mushkil Kusha, not just certainty of knowledge, Mola. Help us go further and further in our journey, Mola. Keep our feet firm, Mola, on this path, Mola. Ya Mulai Meherban, Ya Mushkil Kusha. Madad Farma, Madad Farma, Madad Farma. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Once again, Ya Ali Madad to all friends, and today we start with our new Farman. So, we had finished the Farman number 40 last week, and this week we will start with the Farman number 41, which you see is very small. So, inshallah, we will go to the Farman number 42 as well. So, this Farman of Zanzibar, February 9th, 1899, Hak Maulana Dhari Salamat Datar Sarkar Aka Muhammad Shah Hazri Sarkar Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah Hazri Imam-i Farmaviyu. Please recite the Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad Muhammad. તમે અમને એક વસુ ચાહો છો તો અમે તમોને 100 વસા વધારે ચાહીએ છીએ. જો તમે સાચા યકીનથી ચાલશો તો તમે કિયામતના દિવસે અમારા છત્ર નીચે હશો. Imam is very clearly guiding us that if we were to say that we love Imam, one time, Imam says that I love you 100 times more. And those who are sincere, who are believers with certainty, those who are walking on this path with, certainty, and certainty comes from knowledge. Those Jama'ati members will be under the, umbrella of Imam, Chhatra niche haso. So literal meaning is like umbrella, but we understand that we will be with Imam on the day of Qiyamah. The day of Qiyamah is a very important concept. We have been talking about it in different Faramins, and the more we learn, the more we understand the concept of Qiyamah from Quran, we understand it more and more. It is this time, according to Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, the end time, the Dore Qiyamat, the period of unveiling started with Imam sitting on the Gadi. So we are in the time of Qiyamah. And Qiyamah is not just one, it is an era as well. There is an individual Qiyamah, there is a collective Qiyamah. So there are different types of Qiyamah as well. It's just not one thing. So to understand this concept, we have to, probably continue to read from the books of, ismaililiterature.org and .com to be able to understand the concept of Qiyamah. But in the context of whatever the Faramins are, we have been talking about it so we can understand. Here, if you look at this word Qiyamah, meaning that, when our accounts are taken and when we are evaluated, how did we live the life in our physical world? Did we do what we were ought to do, or we had gone astray, right? Or we were trying to be, in the world as well, and being interested in akhirat as well. All those are ways and means of understanding that when Qiyamah comes, how are we living the life today to be evaluated tomorrow? So those in their lifetime who love Imam, whenever you love somebody, what do we do? What is the outcome of that emotion? Farman bardari, obedience. Whatever you say, Mawla, I will do. So those who are obedient, they love Imam, and they love Imam with the certainty, meaning they have knowledge. If they do it once, one Farman Bardari, one action of love, Mawla says that I bless you 100 times, multiplied times. That is the beauty of Imam's mercy. Alhamdulillah. So we understand this Farman. Now let's look at Farman number 42. हक मौलाना धनी सलामत दातार सरकार आगा सुल्तान मोहम्मद शाह इमाम फरमावी अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद. તમે ન્યાસ હંમેશા પીઓ છો, 100 વર્ષ સુધી પીધો, 1000 વર્ષ સુધી પીધો, પણ તેના માયના સમજ્યા નહીં હશો, તેને તેને શીખડું તેને સેંકડો માયના છે. So this Farman, now it is again Zanzibar, few days after this was all right, so this is probably September 2nd, 1899 Farman 41, and this one is September 7th, 1899 Farman of Zanzibar. So few days after, Imam is giving them Farman, the same Jama'at. And here, Imam is now teaching them about Shifa. And we used to call it Niyaz, right? And Imam is giving Hidayat that always when you drink Niyaz, even if you were to drink it for 100 years, but if you don't understand the meaning, remember in the above Farman, Mawla said yaqeen thi, sacha yaqeen thi. And yaqeen, the word yaqeen is actually certainty. And certainty comes from knowledge, not without it. So anybody who thinks that they believe, with utmost, completion, it would be incorrect if there is no knowledge. There has to be a knowledge base. So when Imam is saying here, guiding us, that if you were to drink Niyaz for 100 years, but do not understand the meaning of it, then, you will not know, because there are Sekro meaning 100. In drinking of Niyaz, in the action of drinking Niyaz, Shifa, there are 100 meanings. Not one, not two, but 100 meanings. પહેલી એ છે કે એક કુંભમાંથી 10 જણા સાથે ન્યાસ પીઓ તો મોટો ફાયદો એ છે કે તમે સાફ દિલથી રહેશો અને તમને ઘણો જ ફાયદો થશે. So Mullah says the first meaning is that when you drink the niyas from one kumbh, the kumbh we understand, the bowl which we keep on the pot and the water is being filled, and then from that, the niyas pialis are filled. So Imam is giving us this guidance that if you were to drink from that one kumbh, one bowl, and you all are drinking from the same bowl, what will happen? That your heart will be purified. Your heart will be purified and you will benefit a lot. So I hope that by this time, all of friends who are gathered here, Shifa, the Tawil, the meaning of Shifa is actually knowledge, true knowledge. When we are seeking knowledge from the right source, the bowl, which is Imam, take the example of right true knowledge, which is coming from Imam, the fountainhead. If you are drinking from the same source, the pure source, the right source, all the hearts will become pure. That's the first meaning. And then Imam is teaching, વળી ન્યાસ પીથી વળે ને દુઆ વખતે તમે પોતાના હકમાં ભલો ઈચ્છો તો ઘણો ફાયદો થાય. પોતાના કરતા જે પોતાના દીન ભાઈઓના હકમાં 10 દુઆ, this is typo error, દુઆ માંગે તો તેને વધારે ફાયદો થાય છે. Now, there are only 10 people who are drinking the niyaz from the same bowl. But look at the responsibility. When you have the true source, when you have the true guidance, when you're drinking from the right, bowl, right source, the responsibility now you have, because you know you're drinking from one kum, from the right knowledge. You have to pray for the whole Jama'at. You may think of, you may pray for yourself. Yes, why not? But then your responsibility is that it is better to pray for the whole Jama'at. Sometimes we do not understand the concept of unity. Those who, let's say, if we talk of believers and non-believers, or people who are on the path and not on the path, we do pray for unity. We do pray to Mawla to change their heart. But remember, Khuda Ta'ala in Quran very clearly says that those who are righteous are righteous. There's no denying or doubt, or there's no mixing in it. So we have to understand that there has to be the fountainhead of knowledge, which is Imam-i-Zaman, and you're drinking from the same source, but your responsibility is much bigger, and that is to pray for the whole Jama'at. And Imam is very clearly saying that પોતાના કરતે જે પોતાના દીન ભાઈના હકમાં દુઆ માંગે તો તેને વધારે ફાયદો થાય. And when we do that, when we pray for the whole Jamaat, actually we benefit also. So those who are with certainty of knowledge, those who drink niyaz from the fountainhead of Imam, they more pray for actually Jamaat than themselves. Because why? Number one, when we pray for Jamaat, we ourselves are within the Jamaat. But we are less, when we have knowledge, then we are less self-concerned and more caring towards Jamaat, because the blessings we have, when we are drinking from the right source, the blessings we have with the certainty, it in itself is such a huge blessing that in gratitude we always pray for our Jamaat. And that should be our responsibility, that when we drink niyaz, we always pray for the whole Jamaat. When we are standing in the line for niyaz, it is not a good idea to talk to each other, but actually pray. Whatever you want for yourself, pray for the whole Jamaat. If you're praying for your health, Ya Mawla, give abundant health to whole Jamaat. This is just example. So pray for whole Jamaat. If you're hoping that to receive this, true knowledge with utmost certainty to the highest level, Ya Mawla, give this true knowledge to whole Jamaat. Pray for the whole Jamaat. So હકીકતી મોમિનને સાથે દુઆ પડે અને મોમિનના હકમાં જે દુઆ માંગે તો ખુદા તેની નજદીક થાય છે. Now very interestingly, Imam is using now the word hakikati mu'min. That those, remember Imam started with the kum and 10 people. And at that time in Jama'at, there were, small villages, and Jama'at was in different places and numbers were very small. So Imam is now again referring and teaching that those 10 mu'minins who were drinking niyaz from the same kum, if mu'minins sit with hakikati mu'minin, there is a level. There is a mu'min, which is a general term, and then there is hakikati mu'min. Those who say dua with hakikati mu'mins, and they would pray for the Jamaat. Pade ane moman na hakma je dua mange. Look at the words very carefully. Hakikati mu'min ne સાથે દુઆ પડે અને મોમન ના હકમાં દુઆ માંગે. One is general Jamaat, mu'min, and one is hakikati mu'min, who is walking on the path with knowledge. It is the responsibility of the hakikati mu'min to pray for all Jamaati members who are mu'mins. Everybody who is with Imam, they are mu'min. For whatever reasons, they have not reached to the knowledge, or they are still, drowned in the worldly life somehow. So we pray for them that Mawla take them out of the worldly things, right? Dua mange to khuda tene nazdeek થાય છે. So these hakikati mu'min, when they pray for the whole mu'minin, when they do that, Imam is telling us that by doing that action, Khuda becomes close to them. You know? So we do want our Mawla to be close to us, right? હકીકતી મોમિન ખુદાને ઓળખે તો ખુદા તેને નજદીક થાય છે. Now, Imam has completely shifted to Hakikati Mu'min. It is only Hakikati Mu'min who understand and who have knowledge, because otherwise they cannot be Hakikati. There is a clear-cut distinction. One is general Mu'min, then there is Hakikati Mu'min. Hakikat is received through knowledge. It is the Hakikati Mu'min who will have the recognition of Lord, and they are the only ones who can come close. Look at this journey of ours, those friends who have joined from COVID and they've been very interested about recognizing Imam. And we've been talking about recognition of Imam since actually COVID time in different classes, different ways and means. Today, look at the miracle in USA. Today we have devotional light from institution, and the theme of the devotional light is recognition of Imam. And it is so interesting, according to the time, that all the interfaith family members are invited. It is not only now for smiley moments. The recognition and the invitation is for the all family members of Smiley Jama'at. Interfaith family members, Christian, Jew, Sunni, whatever, Shia, doesn't matter. Everybody is welcome and invited in Jamaat Khana premises and attend this devotional night to have this dawat, this teaching, only to Jamaat. We don't do dawat outside, only to the Jamaat. And those interfaith family members who have become part of our families, they are invited for recognition of Imam. And remember, these Farman 1899, today is 2024. So we have to understand that what Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah was teaching us at that time, it is now become open to whole Jamaat. So Hakikati Mu'min Khudane Orkhe to Khuda Tene Nazdik થાય છે. So Imam is guiding us that if we were to realize, number one, that what is the difference between Mu'min and Hakikati Mu'min, which is knowledge. And then those Hakikati Mu'min with knowledge, they realize that they need to recognize the Imam. Surely Imam comes close to them. If anybody desires that I become, my Mawla is close to me, he is always with us, but we don't realize his presence. The realization and the miracles in one's life, Hakikati Mu'min's life, continue to begin and start, and they can see it, witness it, when they walk on this path of knowledge. Hakikati Mu'min sarve ठिकाने खुदाने जुए छे. The difference is that Hakikati Mu'min sees Imam everywhere. This is again very important Farman Bardari, that we have to always remember that Imam is with us, he's watching us, so our action should be, abiding. Action should be Farman Bardari and not outside Farman. Hakikati Mu'mina Dilma Khudawan Ta'ala Biraje che. How are they able to remember Imam is always with them? They can remember Imam all the time and their actions are according to Imam, because in their heart, there's Imam sitting in their heart, because their heart has become pure. How? Through knowledge. મોમિન જેમ જેમ ખુદાવન તાલા સાથે વધારે ને વધારે મોહબ્બત રાખે છે, તેમ તેમ ખુદાને વધારે ને વધારે નજદીક થતો જાય છે. Very, very powerful guidance. And Imam is very clearly guiding that now moment. See the difference. We have to keep an eye how Imam changes the terminologies. Here, Mola is saying that if there is a Jamati moment who walks on the path and the way, gradually, if he is remembering Imam, stays with, Yadgiri and in love, meaning obedience, similarly, in exactly same way, Imam becomes close to him, So the way Mu'min is progressing, the way Imam is coming closer. It's like same ways, right? ત્યારે તે ખુદાને પરતક્ષ જોવે છે. Now, very interestingly, the glad tiding is that if you were to do that, if you become Farman Bardar, step by step, Imam is coming step by step. But remember the difference in the beginning. When we do one step, he comes 100 steps. This is his mercy. It is amazing formula that Mola is guiding Mominin to walk on the path, and Jem, as you progress step by step further, he comes 100 steps near us. So it is always blessing for us, right? And then he says that then these mu'mineen can have didar, partaksh. Partaksh, the word partaksh is as if, now you're on the Zoom, I see your names, but if we were to be physically seeing each other. Now, this level of didar, some may think, oh, it is the physical didar of Imam when we see Imam physically. But this is not what he is saying here. Partaksh didar is referring to actually Nurani didar, that seeing Imam in his light, meaning you become light and you see the light. So didar is not limited to physical, which we all have had. When Imam gives duashes in this farmans, especially Betul Kyal Faramins, it is for us to have spiritual and luminous didar. તેથી તે બદ કામ કરી શકતો નથી. Of course, when they, are close and close to Imam, when they see Imam in their heart all the time, they sense Imam, they feel Imam, they see Imam, then they cannot do these bad deeds. ખુદા ના દેખતા તે કરે, તે ક્યારે પણ એવા કામ ના કરે. Of course, when Mola is watching, how can we do anything bad? But it is a progress, it is a journey which that Mu'min has taken. કારણ કે તેને દેખાય છે કે ખુદા બધું જોવે છે. See this word. તેને દેખાય છે. Because he can see that Imam is watching me. So this is not physical didar here. This is not physical closeness we are talking about. It is truly when a mu'min is sadiq through continued journey goes through mutu kabla anta mutu, and they have spiritual and luminous didar, they see Imam watching them. In the beginning, we have to remind ourselves, right? Oh, my Mola is watching me. I'm just saying Yali, but if I'm not thinking that Yali is watching me as well and my deeds are right or not, then we are in trouble. So it is Imam is watching. We have to kind of pretend and remind and, do different actions to remind ourselves he's watching, And then we come to, this habit of Farman Bardari that he's watching. And that's what increases our love for Imam. And in return, he comes close to us 100 times. And when this action continues to go on and on and on and on and on and on, then a Mu'min Salik reaches to spiritual and luminous didar. પોતાના મા બાપના દેખતા હોય ત્યારે પોતાના મા બાપ દેખતા હોય ત્યારે તમે દેખતા કોઈ પણ શખ્સ બદકામ કરી શકે? He's asking, if your parents are watching you, would you do any bad deed? નહીં કરી શકે. He won't be able to do it, right? You won't be able to do it. એવી બેઅદબી કોઈ પણ કરી શકશે નહીં. See the word બેઅદબી. The concept of adab is part of our tradition. It says that this, béadbi, a person will not do. In English, adab is only etiquettes, which, related to very civil living of it, but it is much more than in tradition. And there's a whole chapter on adab in Kalam-i. So Imam is saying that, that બેઅદબી, this person will not do because the parents are watching him. એવી રીતે ખુદાવંદ તાલાના દેખતા મોમન બદ કામ કરી શકતો નથી. Similarly, Mu'min will not do bad deeds because he knows, it is at a knowledge level, that my Mola is watching me, so don't do any bad deeds. But it is not limited to knowledge. Remember, ilmul yaqeen, anul yaqeen, haqqul yaqeen, right? Anul yaqeen, seeing. And that's what Imam said, right? તેને દેખાય છે. He sees it that Imam is watching me. It is not the stage of ilmul yaqeen. So we have to realize that in one farman, Imam is telling us about not just, one level, but several levels. Khudawan Ta'ala joy che te mu'mina. Okay, right? I think I'll stop here because Imam again talks about Abe Shifa. So I have few slides. If I don't show it now, then we won't be able to finish those slides even. So let me share my slides. So this is actually same Farman, if you notice the date. It is the same Farman of Zanzibar, September 7th, 1899. And this is the same Farman actually in English. So let's quickly just read it so we have a good review. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. You always take Niaz and drink it for 100 years, but may not have understood its meaning. It has 100 meanings. First of all, if 10% drink from one pitcher, has the big advantage that you will all remain clean at your heart and you will gain a lot. I hope you see that translation which is available. It is not very good translation, but this translation you can see are there. It's not a good translation, and so that's why we say that we don't have a good English translation, which will really give us the proper exact beautiful Farman guidance the way we need to have it. That's why we have to read the transliteration. But anyways, let's read the translation here. Again, during drinking of Niyaz, when you beseech for your welfare, you will be benefited much. If you, if such beseeching is made for welfare of Deen brothers, then he will get much more benefits. The one who recites the dua along with Hakikati Momin and beseech in favor of the Momin, Khudawan Ta'ala comes close to him. So I hope you are noticing how the words changes from Hakikati Momin to Momin, right? Now this is another Farman, I'm sure, which we will study, again Zanzibar, September 15, 1905, and Imam is guiding us here. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadi wa ali Muhammad. By listening to our Farman, come close to us. Come closer to us and Khudawan Ta'ala. Drink niyaz, recite dua, come closer to Khudawan Ta'ala. So here, the reason I'm showing this, slide is that this Farman, that, sometimes we don't understand that every Shariat which we do in Jamaat Khana physically has a higher meaning, right? So saying of dua and drinking niyaz are both the actions to come close to Imam. Dua we say daily, but niyaz we drink on Friday. You will come closer to Khudawan Ta'ala only when your deeds are clean. Now we can drink niyaz 100 years, pitcher and pitcher are emptied, but it is not that will help us. But actually it is with our deeds, which can only be understood by knowledge. And only then you get the benefits of both drinking of niyaz and reciting of dua. How clear can Imam be, right, for us? During drinking niyaz, if you plead for your well-being, there is a gain. But if you plead for the well-being of your dini brothers as well, then there is even much more gain than that. After drinking niyaz, you touch the empty pyali to your eyes. Why do you do such thing? We are present before you. We are happy despite whatever sufferings and pains inflict us. But we desire that not a single needle injures you. This is his mercy. And do we see his pain even in this Farman? That he's asking us that after drinking niyaz, why are you touching your pyali to the eyes? People do different things, funny things, and there is no basis of it. And one person does it, it looks good to other, people start copying without asking question, what does it mean? Now I don't see it in our Jama'at, especially here in Dallas, but there are maybe the places where people do that. What is the benefit of doing that? Now we don't even have those pyalis, we have paper cups and we throw it away actually. So it is not in the pyali, it is not in the water, but it is in the meaning of it that what matters, right? And then Imam is saying that we are present before you. People start loving the objects. People start loving the people, who are close to Imam, Amal Daran, or giving knowledge. But it is all to do with Imam, not anything else. All the actions and emotions and obedience should be directed to Imam. He is our, Qibla. He is our foundation. He is our center. So Imam is saying, we are happy despite whatever sufferings and pains inflict us. Can you imagine that, when we are not Farman Bardar, how it hurts Imam? Imam has talked about in Kalam-i Imam-i, when we continue to read, we will review that. But Imam says that I do not want even a single needle hurting you. Can you imagine when we are in difficult times? There are Jamaat who are not secure, safety-wise, there are issues. How painful that would be for Jamaat. But can you imagine how much it would hurt Imam when the Jamaat is in difficulty? Because Imam's desire is not a single needle should hurt us. He loves us that much. How much do we love? How much do we love him? We have to reflect and think. But the focus of this Farman, the reason in context of today's study is that if we want to come close to Imam, we recite dua, we drink niyaz, but we need to know the meaning of it. So why are we drinking niyaz? We are understanding from the Faramin that we have to know the meanings. It is a good, important step to read, to drink niyaz in congregation and pray for Jamaat, not just for yourself. Pray for Hakikati moments and moments. So Hakikati moments prays for the Jamaat to come close to his Noor, come close to his Noor. Think beyond Shariat or physical rituals, right? Don't touch the pyali and do funny things. It is to think, it is physical rituals, but we have to think of Hakikat behind it. Believe Imam is with us. And this Quranic verse, right? Wahuwa ma'kum aina ma kuntum. 57/4, which says, He is with you wherever you are, right? He loves us and will take suffering upon Himself, but to protect us. Subhanallah. And then this is a beautiful Ginan. Eji Nur Vera Nur Pio Kariyo Man Anandji Popa Vera Rakho Shah Pir Sun Sabandji. Tame jago jago bhaira Rayana Vayanji. Tame cheto moman bhaiji. At the time of enlightenment, drink the light. Interestingly, translation inherited site says of knowledge and wisdom. That is Ginan. The word Ginan actually means knowledge and wisdom. So, thus make your mind, heart joyful. At the time of the blooming of the soul, establish relationship with the Lord, the guide. O brothers, remain continuously awake in knowledge and remembrance, right? That is very clear now, Alhamdulillah, so that the night may pass away. Now, the word night, the first level of the meaning is that, oh, nighttime, do not sleep, wake up and do ibadat. But night in itself has another meaning, which is veil, which is darkness of ignorance, which is heedlessness, right? May pass away. The veils are removed, the darkness is removed, the ignorance is gone so we can see. O moments, be vigilant so that the night may pass away. So yes, night, if it is in ignorance, it is in your soul, it should pass away. But night has very many meanings. So another Ginan, Jire wala Satgur Sathe Gothri kije, ane nito nit amiras pije, re wala. जोत जगाइए ने सामी राजो बैठा तो प्रेम सु पूजा कीजिए. Subhan. Oh loved one, have hearty conversation with the true guide. Talk to him and drink the niyaz every day of knowledge. Drink niyaz or Shifa, healing water every day. What heals? What is the healing? It is the knowledge, not that physical water. The Lord, the Master, is seated, having kindled the light, then worship Him in a loving manner. Subhanallah. Do we need to explain that? It's very clear, right? Another Ginan, Bhai Momin ji je avine beso amiras piyo. Bhai Momin ji avine beso amiras piyo, Bhai jene sir jiye tene dhiyaye. O brother Momins, come and be seated and drink the nectar. This Kalam-i verse, comes to my mind. Ilmi majlis bihisht niwadi, right? Come and be seated and drink the nectar, Ginan's knowledge. Brothers, adore the one who has created you. Our Mawla has created you. Now, because we've been talking about higher concepts from Quran, so we have to go further in this, chapter of Shifa, the healing water. What does it mean? We do know that we drink niyaz on Friday. Why not Monday? Why not Thursday or even Saturday? Why Friday? What is the reason? So let's review some and learn some more. That we do know, we have talked about it, that according to 22/47 Quranic verse, one day of Allah is 1,000 years. And in one cycle, according to 7 by 54, one cycle, the bigger cycle is of 7,000 years. And we understand that Dore Kiamat is of 1,000 years. Adam's cycle was 1,000 years. Every Natik, 7,000 years. But the seventh day, which is Dore Kiamat, is also seventh or 1,000 years. So completing the circle, it is 7,000 years cycle. Now, we have to understand, according to the knowledge of Pir Nasir Khosrow, when we have like Saturday is a day of Qayyam, which is today, Dore Qiyamah. But when we start our week from Sunday, like from tomorrow, it represents the day of Adam alayhi salam. Then Monday Hazrat Noah alayhi salam. Tuesday Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. Wednesday Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. Thursday Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. Friday is the day of the Prophet Muhammad who brought the Quran in Tanzili form. In today's time, in the Saturday time, when Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah announced the end time, the knowledge of the Tawil of the Quran has come. So Saturday, yes, it's a day of Qaim. There is no Natik, right? But what we are seeing that in Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's time, we started regularly to drink niyaz on Fridays only. Why? We understand it is the time of the Prophet Muhammad, so we continue to realize the importance of the talimat of the Prophet Muhammad, which is in Tanzili form, which is in Tanzili form, which is in parables, which is in allegories, which doesn't make sense. But in the time, the Saturday, when the end time came, what happened for us? Tawil came in for everyone, because it's a time of unveiling as well, right? Dore Kash. It was Dore Satar, now Dore Kash. And what we are realizing that for us, all the Tawili meaning is available, and it is actually on Quran. All the parables, all these uh, locks on the knowledge, as per se, have opened up because the keys have come for us. Meaning, in other words, that today we are able to find the meaning of these parables, which, other, Muslim world is still confused about. They don't understand the meaning. For us, we have entered into the seventh day. The whole cycle has completed, but we see the importance of the talimat of the Prophet Muhammad. We, as Ismaili Jama'at, especially the Jama'at from Indo-Pak, because this is talimat of Pir Nasir Khusro. Those, Jama'at who are followers of Pir Nasir Khusro, they understand these things. It is Pir Sadruddin's Jama'at that we do not know this knowledge. And Alhamdulillah, we are not far behind. We are seeking this knowledge. We are understanding. And we are understanding that we have to seek knowledge to be truly blessed by the day, which is Saturday. So Friday is the day of Natik, which is Prophet Muhammad. And remember that we have to remember this hadith. Actually, we have to remember Golden Jubilee Talimat of Hazrat Imam, right? Where he gave us this hadith Saklan to review. For 18 months, we recited in US as standing up. And I misbah. Hadith Saklan very clearly says that I have brought for you, I have left for you two heavy things. My book and my al. First is book and then there is al. We have to notice first he says my book. So we can never forget the book. We as Ismailis, we are very blessed to be with Imam-i Zaman, which is the al, right? From the chain of the light of Imamat. But then we cannot forget the book. Otherwise, we are not Farman Bardar. Simple as that. And Imam has guided us to drink Niyaz on Friday. Golden Jubilee, Hazri Imam tells us to recite Hadith Saklan to remind us that pay attention. Remove this night of ignorance from our soul, because it could be day now, but if our soul is in ignorance, it is the night time for our soul, right? So we have to realize that what is the meaning here of drinking niyaz, the healing water, Abe Shifa, on Friday. We have to reflect why. Because it is through that knowledge that we will heal our being. And true healing is from our soul and intellect. Right? Physical body gets sick and dies and becomes dust, does not matter. It is to do with the healing of our soul. And in Kokabiduri, there is a saying of Maula Ali. There was a time after Prophet Muhammad's passing away, Uh, um, uh, there is a verse in Quran which says that Quran speaks. Yantaku. The word is yantaku. And when Mola Ali is he's taking a class, teaching, those who wanted to learn. And when he reaches to that verse which says yantaku, like speaking Quran, so he says, uh, he keeps this Quran and puts it on his head and he says, yantaku, yantaku, yantaku. Oh, Quran, speak, speak, speak. But how can a book speak? But Quran itself, there is a saying there's a Quranic verse which says that Quran will speak. It's a speaking Quran. And then Mola Ali says, Ana, I am the speaking Quran. So, Ana yantakul Quran, I am the speaking Quran, right? So, Imam, being the Asas Imam, guided us at that time, 1400 years ago, that it is the talim of Imam, the guidance of Imam, which will help us reach to the hakikati meaning. And today, when we read Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, we realize that Imam has given us so much knowledge of Quran and Hadith, but we have never been able to connect because we did not know this knowledge. But Shukr Alhamdulillah, we are drinking Nias on Friday, and some of us are waking up, those who are asking questions, seeking meaning, and see, institution today, recognition of Imam. So I am telling you, those who are in the knowledge journey and they are sincerely praying for the Jama'at, for the Hakikati ilm, the whole Jama'at is going to be blessed, and we are witnessing a miracle on the day of Saturday today in the devotional night, that the whole Jama'at will be invited. You know for what? True knowledge. That is my husnezan. That is my, good thought that Jamaat will be invited towards knowledge. And knowledge is available for everyone. The books are here. We are not reading the books. So let me do one more slide. Let's see what we have. So why Abe Shifa on Friday? We talked about it. So we do not need to review it. Hadith Saklan. And then this is the Quranic verse 11/7, which we had reviewed in last few sessions, which says that he created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. And his throne is based, actually, his throne had been upon water, right? And then it says, so we reviewed this part, now this part, that he might test you as to which of you is best in deed. And I put in bracket knowledge, because deed cannot be without knowledge. Otherwise, good deeds are actually, in our opinion, good deeds, but they are not good deeds because they are not based on knowledge. And that's how there's a lecture, difference between good deed and the deeds which are with knowledge. All right, I'm going to quickly see. So why Abe Shifa on Chandrat? This is an important point. Let's see if I can cover it. Karim, what do you suggest? Should we continue or stop?
I think we still have 10 minutes.
We do? Okay, good. All right. Why Abe Shifa on Chandrat? Because Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah gave us hukum. Very interestingly, someone came forward and asked that we see the Shariat of our tariqa is dua and dasod. Where is Chandrat mentioned as Shariat? Chandrat is mentioned as Shariat in the Farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. And when we see a Farman, an Imam says everybody should enroll in the Chandrat Mandli. Actually, I have Chandrat Farman as well. I think we'll continue with this because it is important for those new who do not know, and then those who have not, we all need review too. So, Imam's Farman is there of Chandrat Majlis. Now, due to time limitations, we don't recite the whole Farman, but here in Knowledge Journey we can. That's why we gather, right? To review and to revise and to learn that why Imam made that as a must for the whole Jamaati member. When it became must, it is the part of our tariqah, it is the Shariat, because it is a ritual which we follow. But it is not limited to the ritual. There is a very, very, powerful meaning behind Chandrat. So, why Abi Shifa on Chandrat? And we will talk about Chandrat when we read the Farman, which is in the next few slides. We have to understand when we follow in our tariqa, there are universals. The word universals means principles, some may call it formula, keys, kuliya. all these different words are used for universal, which are, there, which we have to follow because those are principles, right? What are the examples? And one is Chandrat, which is kept on the first day of the moon. Hudud-e-Din is principle now in spirituality, not in physical. Why? Because Hudud-e-Din was a principle which was followed physically, systematically in Fatimid time. But Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's time, Imam finished this, merged all hudud. Like we know, there are no peers. Every hudud is merged with Imam. So there is no physical title of any kind which we review in Hudud-e-Din slide. Let me show it to you because I have it. So we have to remember that we've been studying these because it is a concept. It is a kulya which we have to now follow in spirituality. Now we have to follow this in spirituality because everyone who comes in the knowledge is a student, mustajib. But from mustajib, you elevate and you continue to fana in the higher rank, but it is all in batin. Nothing is physical because there is no mazoon or there is no peer, there is no dais per se. But yes, Hazrat Imam gave us the farman to become dais, meaning seek knowledge. And Imam's mercy was that we were pushed to level 4 and level 5, right? In fact, level 4 would be more appropriate because, seek knowledge, become mustajib so you can come here, right? Because we are not complete in knowledge. Da'i Muttalaq gets the knowledge in their batin from Pir. So what we are saying here, what we are learning, this is a concept, this is a kulya in our tariqa, but it is no more physically applied because Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, being this unique, majestic Imam, he has merged all ranks within him. So we don't have Hudud-e-Din. But spiritually, we still follow and understand. Why is it important to review this concept? Because we need to understand that the rank of Hujjat and Pir is actually same. And the allegory of Hujjat or Pir is taken as of example of moon. And Chandrat is to do with moon. I won't be able to finish the whole concept. I think we will continue from here to understand what does it mean. So let me stop here and we'll restart from this slide. In fact, this slide, so we can continue explaining the whole concept. And I have Chandrat Farman as well. See, I have the Farman, so we'll review that Farman. So it will be very interesting to actually look at the concept of holy water, the Ab Shifa in its totality. And I can tell you, I don't think it will be in totality because I'm recalling the classes on Book of Healing on Saturdays, where there's a chapter being discussed on Shifa, and the concept of Shifa is so broad. And Ab Shifa, the water is just an example, it is just an allegory for us to enter into Shifa. So if you are attending those lectures on global lectures on Saturday's Book of Healing, you will be able to benefit a lot because you will connect. It is all about connecting because this knowledge is so broad and it is spread in, I say normally to my friends that it is like pieces of puzzles. You pick one, you read from this book, you understand from this, and you keep continue to make puzzle and you see the whole picture. And that is your aha moment. Oh, I see. Wherever I see, it is you, Maula. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. Shukran lillah walhamdulillah.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. It just shows how Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah was treating us as children and then taking us through his farmans, giving us very, very detailed explanation and understanding of all the different kiryas, yeah? And in this case, he was explaining to us about Niyaz and Abi Shafa. Your slides after the Farman were very useful as well because it actually helped us link the Quran back with Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farmans. So that was very good. You mentioned adab. and the fact that it's covered in Kalam-i. Maybe if we have time sometime is to actually cover that, what adab is actually in the Muslim religion as compared to our understanding, current understanding, because that would be useful. As you mentioned, it's much broader than the way we understand it currently. Yeah? Friends, if you have any questions or comments, please come forward.
I do feel that there is a lot we covered actually. There's a lot to reflect because, whenever I'm telling you, we read Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, it is so much given to us that we truly have to sit down, read and reread and reflect to really grasp all the concepts which Imam was giving us.
Yeah, Niamat Sahaba.
Mawla Ali Madad, Dr. Saib.
I just wanted your comment on one thing. That somebody mentioned that the Abe Shafa, taking Abe Shafa, has a three component. Like when Hazri Imam says something in the kum, so he uses both his hand, then he looks into the water, and then he says something. So they were saying that similarly, when we take the Abe Shafa, we take the pyali in both the hands. We are supposed to look into the water and then we say the dua, whatever we want to do. So, is there anything of importance in this comparison, or this is just somebody made it up?
Uh, I let me not give my opinion and just say that when you look at Hazimam physically and think of every physical action like that, it takes us away from knowledge. It takes us away from knowledge. So I understand what you are implying, but let's look at the practicality. Forget about what you have heard or what they're thinking and teaching. Physically, when I go to my Jamaat Khana and when I'm standing up and I'm trying to come out of Jamaat Khana quickly because Jamaat Khana becomes so loud and noisy, right? Jamaat Khana means when I stand up to drink my niyaz, if I'm not quick enough to drink my niyaz ki pyali and be out, I'll be pushed. There is no time for me to look into niyaz and pray. It is not at all practical. It is not at all practical if we, let's say, today we say, oh no, we need to do that. We are defying what is happening in Jamaat Khana. Jamaat Khana times are cut short and short because people are busy. People are busy. They come from work and they have to leave fast, right? And so, where is the practicality of it? And we read in the Farman, Imam says that you have to pray for the whole Jamaat. So if you're standing in the line, you pray for the Jamaat. When you get the niyaz, you take the niyaz, you say, Farman, nothing else to be said. Actually, whatever you had to say, you said it in the line. And if there was no line, you said it in your heart earlier. Prepared yourself for drinking of Abi Shifa. And then you had your niyaz and you just say Farman. So the person hears and says, Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad, and you drink your niyaz ki pyali and be gone. Right? So it is a ritual, Dr. Saab, it is a ritual. And we cannot look into ritual and have these steps of following the rituals. When we do that, we are becoming very Shariati. And this is not the time of Shariat. Can you imagine in Shariat time, we had to have all these steps. This is how you will fill the niyaz. This is how you will do it. You will have this kanch ki pyali. Now we don't have pyali, we have paper cups. And when we drink niyaz, do we think there'll be drops in those pyalis? There will be. I believe so. And we throw it in the trash can, right? And then it blood throws. Would we do that in the past? The way people used to put Nyas ki pyali on their eyes, to make sure there's not a single drop left, empty it up, completely. That was time of Sharia. What is the meaning of drinking Abhishifa? It is actually to seek knowledge. So if you're drinking quickly, fast, not even looking at the water, it does not make any difference.
Okay.
Live example, after COVID, I have to remind ourselves, look at the way we used to treat Shahajudida. Oh, you have to shake hand, look at each other's eyes and form shake hand. all
Yeah.
for Shariat. Now, no more. So, are we not going to get Didar of Imam? Because that's what we had heard, we had learned, haven't we?
Right.
So, we have to remember that logically ask when you hear rubbish. There is no essence in it. I'm so sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for asking question.
Can I just add that if you're drinking Abi Shafa in the Shariati way or whatever, but if you do not seek knowledge, then in fact it has no real meaning, because
Exactly.
water is signifying knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. So you really repeated what Imam told us, right? He said, if you were to drink for 100 years, it's not going to benefit us. So what's the reason why are we drinking Yas? So absolutely right, Karim.
And the bit about Kirya, the way you drink and whatever, Maulana Sultan Shah covered that as well. Why are people touching their eyes?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Karim. Yeah. So actually, Imam has answered. If we were to reflect, the beauty is when we read these Farman and truly reflect, the rubbish we hear, in wherever, I'm not going to go there. Rubbish we hear, actually those will be crossed out if we truly look into the Farman, because these are Imam's words. But again, people, they do what they do, and now it is high time, because we are no more uneducated. We are educated, we can pick up the books, we can reflect and understand, and we can weigh where is the weightage, where is the knowledge, and where is this just not knowledge.
We have a question in the chat which says, Ya Ali Madad, when said in the lecture that Abe Shafa is held on Fridays and Chandarats, and my question is about the Abe Shafa which is taken every morning. What is the difference between the morning Abe Shafa and the Abe Shafa drunk on Fridays and Chandarats? What does morning Abe Shafa symbolize, and what is its significance in comparison to Fridays and Chandarats?
So I do cover it, Karim, in my slides. So I would say this friend, iPhone, to be patient and inshallah come next week, and we will discuss this in detail, because it is a complete flow, right? It is a complete flow, and we have to understand this in logical way. So I don't want to do like that. I want to take us all to the journey of understanding step by step with Quranic verses and farmans, and the way we started today, we should have been, we didn't have time. But when we complete it in the flow, then it makes much more sense. So I hope when you come next week, you review this and we start where we stopped to cover Chandra and daily.
There's a question from Dr. Saib. Is it Abe Shafa or Abe Safa?
Actually, it is Shifa, 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 the way we say Shifa in Arabic. But again, because of our different, dialects and language, Abi Shafa and Shifa, whatever we say, and even this transliteration, it is not correct, but it is Shifa, which means healing.
iPhone, you have a raised hand. Please unmute yourself.
Yali Madad Nelofoye.
Maulana Madad.
In one of the Ginans, we said Nito Nit Amiras PJ. So Nito Nit you are translated as every day?
I have to look at my slides, because I took it from heritage side, and I didn't pay attention to the everything. So yeah, what is your point? Nilofer, you study Ginan, so share with us. You're okay.
Thank you so much. So Nito Nit is every moment.
Yes.
So every moment means every second of the day. You have to gain knowledge.
Yes.
And you get knowledge from your surroundings or from your books. Now we have books. At that time, we did not have books. But now that we have books, it's every second you gain some knowledge or the other. And that is why Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman that if you have to gain knowledge, you have to go to China. You go to China to gain knowledge. So that knowledge is so important. The importance of knowledge was given there.
Subhanallah. You're absolutely correct. Thank you, Nilofer. And Hazri Imam has mentioned this hadith that seek knowledge if you have to go to China. Hazri Imam has in his also mentioned.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So you're very right that in the past we did not have books. Right now we have no excuse. We do have books, right?
Yes.
So we have to seek knowledge. May I give you a funny example? It's funny because, I know one of my teacher, even when they go to restroom, they're not without book. In Western, in today's time, the way, one can take time in even restrooms, right? They are not without book. Can you imagine that? That is the
Yes,
love
it is
of
true.
knowledge.
But it is also true that you should not take knowledge because inside the toilet we
No, no,
have
no, no, don't go into
negative
nitty-gritty. No, no, no,
forces.
no. Listen. Don't go into nitty-gritty of that. No, no, no. Don't go there, my dear. It's an example to support what you said. It
Oh,
is
thank you
not
so much.
physical. We are talking physical, but it
Mhm.
is the example that thirst. We have to have exactly what you said.
Mm.
Nito,
That we should not
nil.
lose a moment. We should not even lose a moment
Yes.
to get
Thank you
knowledge.
for understanding me, Nilofer. Thank you.
Yeah, I understand. Another thing is we have Sultan Muhammad Farman once, one of the Mukhis during the Didar, complained to Sultan Muhammad Shah that people are taking a lot of time for
Drinking, yes.
saying dua over the niyaz. If you know that incident, please do tell
No,
us.
no, you share. I don't know. You share. Why don't you share?
Okay, so Sultan Muhammad Shah says that, like he had already mentioned, that you pray for your Jama'ati members, your brothers and sisters of the Jama'at. So you just say that Jumle Jamaat ki hakikati samajh de, that comes, everything is included in that. So that word, that Jumle Jamaat ki hakikati samajh de, is again considering knowledge, because samajh is, as we, not what we think is samajh, but samajh is knowledge. So there also again knowledge is emphasized.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Mubarakbad. Thank you for sharing that, Nilofer. How amazing that is, right? See, together we can bring home all what we are discussing, that we know and we are connecting and we are learning and we are reminding. Subhanallah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We have a comment in the chat from iPad. Yesterday, missionary at Jamaat Khana said to me, Bore Manesrevo. I was surprised and told him, Ilm Wagar Nachutkaro, etc. And then he says, Hakikati Samaj. Yeah, which is
I'm
obviously.
proud of you for doing that. Good job.
And the next one is, indeed, Nitonit means every moment, every second. Surely it means that in every breath, we have to seek knowledge and remember his name constantly. His name will bless us with the wealth of wisdom and knowledge. This is from iPhone. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then iPad has responded back to the previous one. He didn't like it though. The mission.
Yeah. When we have this attitude of authority, uh, I know I said and you must listen, then we have difficulty to accept that in Jamaat there can be someone who is more knowledgeable. And he did not like it, but at least he will now know that Jamaat has educated people and they will come and tell you. So you better do your research and teach Jamaat the right things. So I'm proud of you for doing that, because it is high time we have to make those who teach Jamaat in any ways and means, they have to be accountable for their actions, because they are being assigned to speak to Jamaat in Jamaat Khana with that authority. They do have to do a good job, really good job. If they don't do that, it is our responsibility to tell them that yes, you are accountable, you are teaching us, and I have this knowledge, and you need to read and be accountable.
Okay. Friends, any other questions, comments, reflections before we close the session? Thank you, friends, for joining. Thank you, Niamat Saga, for a wonderful session. And inshallah, we'll continue with this particular Farman. Yali Madat.
Yeah, anyway, that's just one more question. I'm
Cheers.
sorry. On you said Saturday they have one more Zoom meeting where they discuss. You had mentioned in the
Okay.
Saturday mornings, but when is and where is it? I don't know, because
Okay.
usually the mornings of yours are usually midnights of ours. Are like the timing, because of the timing, it is very difficult.
So I can tell you that all our friends who are in knowledge and wisdom group, we recommend them to join global lectures, Nilofer. You will
Yes,
truly benefit from global lectures if you're listening to the evening lectures. I hope you cannot attend, but you listen to recordings, right? That we study different
yes,
books. On global lectures, we are studying a book of healing and dua, essence of ibadat on Sundays. So
okay,
I see that you can join the group. Kareem has
right,
posted the link. So please join the group. You must be in global lectures and you're already in knowledge and wisdom. So you will benefit thoroughly, because what I tell my friends that global lecture is a kind of little bit higher level. So, when you make your basis strong and you go to global lectures too, so you understand everything in its totality. You know?
right. Thank you so much. Thanks a
You're
lot.
welcome, Nilofer. Yali Madad, Yali Madad,
Ya Ali Madad.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad Jama Saiba.
Yali Madad, Dr. Saib, thank you for joining. Yali Madad.
And with the
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
shukr, Mama.
Shukran billah.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Zina. Yali
Yali
Madad.
Madad.
Yali
Thank you.
Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yani Mother.